Assalamualaikum everyone, this is Shoaib Yaqub, your mentor, your tutor for advanced financial management. In AFM, there is a very famous question that discuss the assumptions. In part A, there is a numeric question. You have to do certain calculation like NPV calculation, like to calculate market value in merger and acquisition. And in B part, examiner will specifically ask you to write about the assumptions. For example, there is a question on merger and acquisition. In A part, you have calculated the market value using free cash flow to firm or equity formula. And in B part, examiner has asked you to write about the assumptions. The word is discuss the assumptions which you have taken in the part A. And for example, you have taken the assumption that cash flows after, for example, 4 years will continue till perpetuity, or cash flows after 4 years will grow till perpetuity for the foreseeable future, like at 3%. So if you write that assumption, you will get the minimal marks. Why is it so? Because that assumption was given in the question. And if you are copying that assumption, if you are writing the same assumption which is given in the question, you are not going to get high marks. So you have to discuss it. Like if the business is very good, you have to discuss that it is assumed that cash flows are going to be received after 4 years because of this reasons. Because the business is good, because the products are diversified, because company has a good range of products, because the company has a higher market share. That's why a company is going to receive cash flows till perpetuity. And if the business is not that great, and if the products are not that much diverse, you can write that it is assumed that cash flows are going to be growing with 3% growth. That is unrealistic because of these reasons. Because company has not that great market share, company products are not that diverse, company has not that much presence in the market. So you have to discuss that assumption. Let's take another example. For example, it is given in the question that replacement expenditure is equal to the depreciation. Remember, in that case, we do not add back the depreciation and we do not less the replacement capex. So you will write that in the exam, depreciation is based on past. Replacement capital expenditure is based on current cost. So current expenditure will always be greater than that depreciation which is based on the past cost. So it is unrealistic that depreciation is going to be the same as replacement capital expenditure. So guys, if you are just copying the assumption which is given in the question, you are not going good marks. For example, if it is written that cost of capital is 10% and you are assuming in the question that it is assumed that cost of capital is 10%, you are not going to good marks. You are not going to attain the good marks. You have to discuss that. What is that discussion? It is given in the question that cost of capital is 10%. However, no detailed information is given that how this cost of capital is calculated. Whether that cost of capital has covered the risk of the company, whether that cost of capital has covered the business risk and financial risk of the company or not. Definitely you will write that if full information is available, then it will be, you can take the realistic view of that cost of capital. So guys, do not write the assumption. The word is discuss. Discuss the assumption so that examiner can award you full marks in that particular question. So my advice is never copy the assumption from the question. If you are copying the assumption from the question and just writing in that way, you are not going to attain all the marks. So solution is, if you like the assumption and if you are hopeful that assumption is going to be fulfilled in future, discuss in that way. If you think that assumption is unrealistic, don't be shy. Write in the question that it is unrealistic that this assumption is going to be attained in future. This assumption is going to be happen in future. Remember, there are professional marks. Remember skepticism. You will get full marks in skepticism. If you don't see any commercial view in that assumption, you are going to get the marks of commercial acumen. So discuss the assumption, don't just write it in the exam. Thank you so much.